What's that, RCGP? A Christmas present for me? Oh, it's the October AKT feedback report. Brilliant. Let's take a look. It gives us a couple of hints and tips because someone at the RCGP got a little bit grumpy when writing this report. We're going to jump over to this. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So I'll leave all the links below, but you can find the AKT report just by Googling sort of AKT and October 2024 feedback report and looking at this. What it does is that it gives us an overall pass rate initially, just to sort of see where we're going at with that point of view. But let's dig into the real useful bit. It's the areas causing difficulty for candidates. Okay, so and they sort of quantify these. So I'm going to give you 3 tips to sort of have a look at and really highlight one that you need to sort of revise upon. So stick around for that. Okay, so improving quality, safety and prescribing. So this is looking at prescribing in adults, okay, and whether they need to sort of drop down or alter things from that way. Prescribing always crops up in the AKT feedback reports. So what I would suggest if you're a trainer or a trainee is that every time that you prescribe, if you're debriefing, start to quiz whoever or be quizzed about common side effects and also adjustments if you're elderly or things to just think about from that way, because this crops up time and time again. Again, we've got a point about gastroenterology, so diagnosis and management of common colorectal and perianal conditions. So again, thinking about are you up to date and up to speed with those? Knowledge about combined hormone replacements therapy with safe options for endometrial protection. So again, with looking at this, HRT is cropped up in the media, and it's one of those that if it's in the current media at the moment, then they are more likely to put a question about this. So HRT is one that you need to know inside out and be confident with. Again, there's normally someone in practice who I'd recommend you do a tutorial with. We've certainly got a couple of experts on HRT that we put all of our registrars, make sure they have a tutorial with them just to give them all the information that they need. MSK, again, this is cropped up on a couple of them. So it's worthwhile sitting in with your musculoskeletal practitioner for a couple of sessions, see if you can glean a bit more information about this to help with it. Now, this is tip number 2, and this is where someone's got grumpy, and I'll show you what I mean. Neurology. Neurology has been lifted as feedback topic for the past 4 AKT sittings. And they just highlight it there that someone, when you're not revising neurology, if you're not revising it, or if they're getting grumpy about it, then they are more likely to include it in future exams. Okay, so top of your list if you're revising and you don't know which topic to pick, neurology needs to be up there, and certainly is one of the top ones. Okay. Lastly, respiratory health. Looking at this, they're talking about asthma and asthma management, and this again goes back to a previous video and is my tip 3, is just to be aware of the updated asthma guidelines. They are more likely to put a question with updated guidelines, or just want to be wary of. I've just highlighted it here because they've updated it as per November 2024, so really, really fresh and updated. Even I need to get my head properly around it from that way. Okay, they then look at the past year's worth of AKT feedback reports. So again, neurology, including acute presentations, migraine. So they are your first things to start revising. So when I think acute presentations, I'm thinking TIA stroke is your obvious one, certain types of headaches and including your migraines. And then think about, they often say about your unexplained neurology, but make sure you're happy with diagnosing musculoskeletal or multiple sclerosis, or just certainly those bits and pieces that you just are likely to flag up from that way. Improvement, quality, safety and prescribing. Okay, so drug side effects, prescribing in older adults and interpretation of results. Okay, leadership and management. I've got a video specifically on the death certification. And certainly really what crops up on the previous reports is when do you need to refer to the coroner, so making sure you're happy with that. Okay, children and young people, the neonatal illness, safeguarding, recognising normal and minor illnesses from that way. So again, I'll leave the link for that. So tips, Prescribing, can you quiz each other every time you prescribe? Neurology, make sure you're revising that. And then finally, know the up-to-date asthma guidelines. I'm Dr. Dave Highmarsh, wishing you a fantastic Christmas and very best luck with your AKT.